And we're going to cover several different topics throughout the year, trying to gear these towards what's coming up and what's more beneficial to you, what you need. What we're asking you all to do is if there's a specific topic that you really, really want us to cover, please let us know and we'll be more than happy to help you out and get this. Today's topic, we're going to be covering the new audit. As many of you have heard already, Supreme has changed us to a one audit a year, and this audit is done online. It's brand new. No one's actually done it yet, except a few people, but we have experts involved in this, so we're going to be okay. And we're going to go over today and show you all how to do it. I brought in here my chairman for financial secretaries. He's been doing this stuff for a long time. You can look at him. He has a lot of gray hair. He knows the stuff very well. He's been an FS for a while. He's been an FS trainer for a long time. Myself, I've been an FS for over 12 years, or I was. And then I did FS training for a while. So we have a lot of knowledge going on into this. But I would like to introduce my guest speaker here today, and I'm going to turn it over to him and let him take off. We call him G, and we're going to keep calling him G because I'm not going to try to mispronounce his name, but we're going to call him G. G, welcome to the chat here, and we're going to go and turn this over to you and let you go on and give us some stuff on the new audit.
Well, thank you very much, Denny, and welcome, gentlemen, to this very first video conference, so to speak. But I hope that you guys get a lot out of it. And before we get started, I want to remind you that if you have questions, to get in touch with your FS trainer. The assignments for this year of FS trainers are the same as last year. Nobody changed their designated areas. So if you don't know, get with your DD and he'll be able to give you the information to get in touch with your FS trainer if you have some questions. So with that, let's get started. I'm going to share my screen.
There you go.
And this is the new audit form, and it is due by August 15th. This is an annual form. It will be due every year on August 15th. It is a simplified version of the past audit form. It's simplified in the fact that it's more cash accounting than accrual accounting. It's much easier. The questions are easier. The format is easier. The only catch is that now the Grand Knight has to enter it online once the audit is done. So with that being said, let's move on. This is what the audit worksheet looks like. And you can pull this audit worksheet from the Supreme website. You can print it off, download it, and then use this during the audit and pencil it in as you go through the audit. Then at the very end of the audit, once everybody is in agreement with the figures of the audit and everything is fulfilled, then you go ahead and the Grand Knight can go ahead and log on and fill it out online and send it off. So to get ready for your audit, and this is no different than any of your other audits, you still need to do a complete audit with going over your vouchers and the deposits and bank statements, going over the calendar to make sure you've received all of your funds for the auditing period. But these steps that Supreme has given us is the steps of pulling the reports from member billing online so you can go ahead and fulfill the process with through their system. And that the running of the reports is the transaction details of your voucher report, and then the receipt report, which is online. The report of the receipts, once you pull up the first page of the reports, you can go ahead and set up the dates, which would be your accounting period, July 1st of 2025 to June 30th of 2026 and print the reports off. This page is the first page of the audit report as the Grand Knight would see it when he puts the information in. These questions that you see that they're asking you are, just all your normal questions: council number, your fraternal year, your IRS employment, your EIN number, excuse me. The other question here is, did your council submit an IRS Form 990 tax filing this year? So if your council's doing your audit cycle is, or your accounting cycle is January, the calendar year, January 1st through December 31st, then your 990 is due on May 15th. If you're one of the few councils that have a accounting cycle of July 1st through June 30th, then your 990 is going to be due on October 15th. So let's assume that everybody has fulfilled their obligation either in October or May, and put a yes right here. Did your council submit Form 990? If you put a no, then all kinds of flags come up, like you're already late, you need to get the form in, you need to get the correction done, and take care of business so that we're okay with the IRS. If there is another problem with that, then get with your DD and talk to him about any other steps that you may need. Last question here on this page is, do you have an account with the Knights of Columbus Charitable Fund? That is the investment arm of our insurance company, and that's a charitable fund that you can join. And if you want some more information, please get with your insurance agent and they will direct you to a finance counselor. Going on to the next page. This is the first page of the audit form, the balance sheet. Think of this as a snapshot of what your assets are, your current picture of your finances right now, assets and liabilities. And let me zoom in on this just a little bit here. So you can see that the questions it's asking you here, and all of these columns right here will add up. They are formula driven, so you don't need to worry about having a little calculator on the side and doing that kind of stuff. Simple questions: what's your saving account balance as of June 30th, which is the end of your audit cycle? Your checking account balance, any money market accounts. It's asking you for your total dollars of electronic payments. So if you have your council dues being paid by credit card, that would be a form of an electronic payment to the council, and you'd need to report that total dollar there. The third-party credit card company should send you a report showing what that total dollar is. Any other items you put right in here under the other, and then you get a total dollar of all of your current assets. And then liabilities, any unpaid bills. Most councils don't do that, and I like to tell everybody, you use the KISS approach, keep it simple, Sherlock. If you have an unpaid bill, it's really not on the books, so you don't need to put it there, but that's up to you. You can. Uncashed checks. This would be where you would put any of your checks that you've posted to your check register that has not been cashed. And then you get another total for that. If you put anything in any of the other categories right here, then you'd need to go ahead and put a note in in these two boxes right here. So let's move on to the next page. This is the meat and potatoes of the audit. Zoom in here a little bit. This is actually the review of your financial secretary on this side and your treasurer on that side. And this is all of your inflows, the cash received by your financial secretary. And this is your outflows, all the checks and payments that the treasurer made during the audit cycle. Take note that these two figures down here that are highlighted, the total dollars match. And that's the way it should be. This is an easy cash accounting method. And everything that came in during the audit cycle went out during the audit cycle. Up here, cash on hand. This represents any monies that is in the FS's hands that didn't get transferred to the treasurer at the time of the audit. I would suggest that every FS make sure that there are $0 cash on hand and that everything is transferred to the treasurer before the audit begins. Start with a clean slate. These incoming cash flows, event revenues, or monies that came in from your events that you participated in the year, like fish fry, dues, any donations that were just given to the council. Investment income would be the interest you made off of your savings account, and any other items here. The outgoing cash flows, which is again your treasurer, state and supreme per capita assessments, total dollars right here, donations out, supplies. This line would represent items that the treasurer, the FS, and the Grand Knight might need to put on the council meetings, so forth. Program expense and events expense. The difference being events expense are any expenses that are related to the events revenues over here. Like, for example, fish fry, your supplies that you purchased for your fish fry, or utensils that you needed for your fish fry. Program expense would be anything that you're purchasing to support a program, whether it be your council or state or supreme. Maybe you did some publications, or you purchased vestments for your priests, maybe. But it would go into that line, and that's the difference between the two lines.
Hey, G?
Yes, sir.
Well, RSVP, I think, would be a good example of program expense.
Yes, that would be a very good example. The RSVP program is the program where we donate to a seminarian, and you send in the paperwork that you've proved with a canceled check front and back, and then you get back $100. So that is not a program or a event, excuse me, that you take in revenue for something else. That's a very good example. Council insurance premiums right here, and anything other right there. Again, the key is that this matches, the outflows match with the incoming flows. And again, anything that you put in other, you have to clarify in these columns right here. The bottom line is cash on hand at the end of the period, which represents any monies that's left in the treasurer's hands. And again, everything should have been into the bank by the treasurer, and he should have $0 cash on hand. That's a clean slate, and that's a rule of thumb that you should always go by. So moving on. Additional information. This is one of the last pages that the Grand Knight will see. Comments, any comments that you want to put in for yourself. Also, this would be comments like who did the check register, maybe, or who led the audit team. And then you need to fill in the checks of who all was there. And then you also need to put in the email addresses of who was there at the audit. And you'll see why in just a moment. Whoops. So this is the part where the Grand Knight would finish the audit, put his name in and his email address, and do a e-signature. This would be with your mouse, so it's this probably looks really good compared to what some of them look like, but it is going to look funky. Yeah, and then you go ahead and hit submit, and you'll get this confirmation right here. After the confirmation, the Grand Knight is going to get an email, and on the email would be the 3 pages of the audit with all the information on it. As a matter of fact, any email address that you entered into the audit will get a copy of this audit. So every member that you put in there will get their own copy. You don't have to worry about emailing back and forth. This is a much simpler format, both from the accounting standpoint, working at the audit, and especially for the person creating the audit for the council. So I hope that everybody else thinks that it's just as easy as I do. I know it's different, and it's just different, but it's easier.
Yeah, a couple things I wanted to point out to people is Supreme is no longer taking the paper form audit, so you have to do it online this year. So if you have trouble with that, please get with your FS trainers, get with your district deputies, get with your FS trainers, and we will help you get through this. It does help out if you've done all your stuff online, all your money and billing through the Supreme's website. And then I like to stress this does not get out of, you still need to verify everything, all the vouchers and receipts through your bank statements. Just don't just blow that off. That still need to be done to make sure everything's correct. This form is much easier. It really is, especially if you did everything online already. It all kind of, when you pull the reports up, it gives you all that information pretty much already there. All you need to know is your opening balance or your closing balance, and that's pretty much it. And it pretty much figures everything out. They've done a lot, made it a lot easier for us. But once again, I like to remind everybody, if you have questions, I know we went over this very, very quick, but if you have any questions on this, please do not hesitate to ask us. Please reach out to your district deputy and your FS trainer. They will know how to do it. If not, they know how to contact us, how to get help. There is videos out on this already, so it's a brand new. Please give a little bit of effort, but like I said, it's due August 15th, and we need to really kind of get this completed right away.
Denny, do we have time to talk about one other subject?
Sure, we can talk about another item if you like.
There's a change out at the state office this year where the state per capita invoices and the state charity goals are not being mailed out to the councils. Those real
Correct.
fancy yellow envelopes and yellow and blue envelopes. You guys are not going to get those this year. So you have to go to the state website and pull the information from the state website. And then it's set up to receive online payments. And I'm going to suggest, and I don't know if it's going to upset anybody, but I'm going to suggest that you still mail in a check and avoid the online payment. I know that the state wants you to, it makes it easier on them, but you still have to pay the credit card fees. And if you're looking at your charity goal of $1,500 and the credit card fees on that, then man, you don't want your hard-earned money from the council to go to credit card fees. You have to send in 2 checks. You have to send in a check to the state charities, and you have to mail in a check to the state office. Both have the same address, but you do have to mail 2 different checks in. You cannot combine it on one check. You'll just get everything all foobarred if you do. So
just remember, folks, it's online. Everything is there online nowadays. We're not sending bills out anymore. It's just getting real more complex. But we have videos already put out how to find your bills on Supreme and how to find them on the state website. It's relatively easy, but their bills are there. and we can do really good at that.
And Denny, at the org meetings and the different meetings, the conferences, diocesan conferences, all the diocesan deputies have all of the PowerPoint presentations that we created on a lot of these subjects that are new and changing this year. So you can get a copy, a PDF copy of those PowerPoint presentations.
Yeah, everything's out there for you all to grab. Our goal this year is to give you as much information as we possibly can. We want to make sure you're really informed. Like I said earlier, if there's a class that you specifically really want for us to do, please reach out to us, and we're more than happy to build a class for you, get a PowerPoint built up for you. Because I do believe as long as you know how to get to the information, we can teach you how to do it, and we can get you going. We don't want you to be left behind. All right. Is there something else we need to say on the audit? I think we're good on that.
I think we covered everything.
I think we covered the audit. Once again, like I said, this is a very short presentation. We didn't go too much in depth on it. If more information will be given out to your district deputies, reach out to them if you have questions. If there's nothing really else, I'd like to go ahead and say thank you, G, for coming out and helping us do this today. And I'd like to end this with a prayer. So I'm going to start with the prayer right now. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Father, I'd like to thank you for giving us this information. Thank you for giving us G to come out and doing it. Thank our brothers for attending and watching this video with us. I'd like to thank everybody else. And let's make sure we get this a successful year. We do all this in your Son's name. Amen. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. All right, folks. We'll see you in the next one. Like I said, these will be coming out every month, and we'll go ahead and hopefully get to know each other a little bit better.
My best to you guys this new fraternal year.